Many thanks for staying with us on the conversation. And on this side, as you know, we explore issues that shape Lagos State as a whole. Now, for a state often described as Nigeria's political blueprint, Lagos State is known for its unmatched political stability, continuous developmental agenda, and dominant political machinery. Lagos politics has long been tagged as peculiar. But what exactly makes it so? Is it the uninterrupted leadership change since 1999, or the role of political godfathers, or the unique blend of technocratic governance and party loyalty? So joining us to unravel all of these and many more is a legal practitioner and political affairs analyst, Kabir Akinbolu. You're welcome.
It's a pleasure for having me. Good morning, Nigeria.
Okay, people have tagged Lagos State as the blueprint, and many have called it, the state where continuity has thrived. So, for you, how would you describe the political journey of Lagos since 1999?
Well, that's what they call, let me use a legal term. They said Lagos State is sui generis.
It's sui generis.
It's in a class of its own. It's a Latin maxim for the father. It's in a class of its own. Whether you like it or not, whether you hate the leaders, love them, it does not change the fact that Lagos has a defined path, deliberately designed to be so and operated in that manner. What do I mean? Even under the military, I think the Lagos was created specially by God. Under the military, it was thriving very well. We have people like Buba Marwa who did fantastic job in Lagos. We have what's the name of this military Raji Rasaki, when he was here too, people believe he did well. So, and under the military, I think Marwa laid the foundation that was very unique then. And when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in 1999, the wake of, this the way to this political journey we call democracy, in 1999, it charted a new course for Lagos, and that has been the line. It has been the route. It has been the path to the successes that we are experiencing in Lagos State. The developmental agenda of Lagos State, you cannot compare with any other place. And again, apart from that, you talk about the economy, you talk about the IGR, you talk about roadmap, you talk about economy, well-being, and so on and so forth. They are unrivaled, you understand. In so many fora, I used to tell people, I say that I called other governors of other states to come and learn the art of governance in Lagos State, and I'm not joking about it. Although there's nothing that is perfect. However, the Lagos State example is something that you can go on. They try to put Nigeria, Lagos on a path of development, on a path of development that can meet the yearnings of the people, that can meet modernization. We have the Blue Rail, we have BRT. No state of Nigeria, not even Abuja has that BRT. They can. I don't want to say they cannot do it. And so when you look at this, something is special here. So the way it is special is the way their political organogram is also special. And the way there is a succession plan. Deliberately or not, whether you like it or not, it may not be written, but there is a succession plan. There is an organization. Apart from the politics that they play their own politics differently. Within the party, that's what they call the Governing Advisory Council, that has a very powerful influence on the government of on the governor or on the government of the state. It doesn't happen anywhere. There is no such powerful governing council anywhere, in the advisory council in any of the states in Nigeria, whether in PDP, whether in APC, whether in Labour or any other unknown political party. So this makes Lagos to stand out.
Well, some of the opinion, which of course people from the other parties have said that Lagos dominance, has been just one party, just one dominant family. Do you think this has enhanced or stifled, Lagos State?
I can tell you, it has never, I'm not a politician. I'm not a registered political party of a member of any political party, whether PDP or APC or any party at all. However, Lagos is lucky to be under the party they have been, which has transformed and retransformed and rebirthed to different cognomens and names and all that. However, it would have been worse if they had been under other political party. I won't mention names because you see, an agenda. Lagos is the only place where leaders rule with an agenda. In other places, there are no agenda. Lagos says, "Oh, we want to do it like this. We not to." Even if they are not getting it, they are moving forward every step of the way. So we cannot say where Lagos was under Tinubu was where it was under Fashola, and we cannot say it was where it was under Fashola was where it was under Ambode or where it is now. So. And there is this succession thing. It doesn't happen in Lagos except stylishly under somebody. It doesn't happen in Lagos that, oh, Mr. A is the governor, is doing a project on this COP. I will not continue with it. It does not happen. Once you stop, the other governor will take it and even do it better than the way you left it. And you will be happy wherever you are. So I think we must commend Tinubu for laying a foundation for a modern Lagos.
This is leading me to my next question, as in, what role has Bola Tinubu played in shaping Lagos' political landscape?
Even if the deaf cannot hear, the blind can see. Let me tell you, I can tell you, I may not like his, maybe it's a different ball game
yes,
now.
But let's talk about him in 1999.
Governor,
yes.
As a Lagos governor, Tinubu is non-parallel. It's unparalleled. Nobody moves near him. And I will tell you some stories. Now, in 1999, when he won the election, he was there, he was doing his thing. He raised the idea of Lagos more than 500%. And thereafter, it has been growing continuously. Now, again, that apart, when it was 2007 for re-election to take place, he wanted to be re-elected. Obasanjo, being the kind of politician he was then, he said the election was a do or die affair. He said it openly in public, you understand? And people were like, what is it? And through whatever means, all they did was that they just swept the entire Southwest. Even when they did not win the election normally, it's not a defamatory statement because there is a judgment in Ekiti that invalidated the election. There's a judgment in Osun that invalidated the election. There's a judgment in Edo that invalidated the election. So, Obasanjo conducted the worst election in the history of Nigeria. It's in court. Don't be afraid. Judgment is there. The judgment is there. It's not anything anybody can make a subject of this. So, when the election was coming in 2007, Obasanjo did all he could, legally and illegally, to ensure that Lagos is delivered for PDP. In fact, they changed commissioner of police like how many times? A week to the election, they changed the commissioner of police. 3 days to the election, they changed another commissioner. Maybe he had brought him over. They thought he was doing some other things. You understand? But the man knows his onions. He knew what he wanted. He knew how to get it. He did well. The people wanted him, and he delivered. Eventually, in fact, 7 days to the election, Obasanjo froze the account of Lagos State entirely. There was nowhere they could get money to pay civil servant or to mobilize anybody. So he thought it was money. So if it was money, at least the man still won. So you seized all the allocation, all the money of Lagos State. Again, there was a time the governor believed, 20 local government for the whole Lagos State, the most populated city or state in Nigeria, 20 local government. Oyo State has 23 local government, Kano has 44 local government, Lagos is having 20. Where there is no family in Nigeria, it will be very difficult. That a family in Nigeria will not have somebody in Lagos.
True.
It will be very difficult. Now, that kind of state has 20 local government. When places like Bayelsa, there is no more than a street in Lagos, is having 8 local government. You understand? Now, he created what they call local council development authority. Because of that, Obasanjo again came heavily under him. He has won the second term now, I think. Okay. The first time he hammered him and refused to release the allocation of Lagos State. No state can survive for 3 months like that except Lagos State, you know. And but 3 years, Tinubu was succeeding as a governor. So these are the things. Everything in Lagos was special, is special, and will continue to be special.
Okay. Lagos has been dubbed, the model state, and we've had various people from other states come to understudy, governance also in Lagos State.
Yes.
What is style of governance, makes it a model state?
Yeah. For instance, the IGR is one par excellence. That one alone. I will not mention names, but I know at least 2 governors from the northwest and northwest that came purposely. How are you doing it in Lagos? And that's how to do it. You understand? If you want to undertake or embark on anything, you must make findings about that thing. You must work about how do they come about to make that thing succeed. They came to Lagos, they saw, and they went and implemented in their state, and those states are also doing well as at today. So that is one of the things. So in a situation whereby how to control men, Lagos has the highest number of indisciplined individuals in Nigeria, but they have the highest number of touts as well, but they have been able to curtail some of these things. Who could ever imagine that Molue could be out of the city of Lagos? It's gone, and it's gone for good. If you go to Oshodi, it's like, in fact, where is the dirtiest place in the world? But now, it's not so. You see the place very neat and nice and well organized. Look at the last man, for instance. Because of that, Ekiti State have what they call, what do they call them? Ekiti State Transport Management Agency and all that. Though we used to call them the green Ekiti. Because they are green. Their trust is green color. So they don't call them anyway. The way you call Asma, they say that green. You know who they are talking about. In Oyo State, they have Otma. You understand?
In Ogun State.
In Ogun State, they have, what's the name of KC, Abi, whatever.
What did you call it?
There's a name.
Ogun
something. You understand? Trace monitor.
Trace.
They call them Trace in Ogun State. They have in Kano. They have in so many other places. They have in Kwara. And this has created a lot of jobs. Imagine how many graduates that are there. Imagine how graduates. They are not illiterates. Only few of last man officials are illiterate. Not like we have in police force and some other places. You understand? This is one of the things. It's a model city, and in all ramifications, that is just the truth of the matter.
So, in all of what you have said, do you think Lagosians are happy? They are satisfied with what they have, or what do you think? The Lagos State government can do more, especially in the area of population.
Yeah, you see, unfortunately, there's nothing Lagos State government can do because one, Lagos is a micro inside a macro. Do you understand? It contains an existent entity within an entity. So, and in sociology, it is said that you can't grow bigger than your society. Do you get? Now, Lagos has no land mass. It's so small. Do you understand? And the water is not helping things. I didn't mean there is no sea. The sea took over almost half of Lagos. You understand? The Black Sea and the whatever sea we have here, they couldn't expand so well. Do you understand? But I think one of the things Lagosians will be expecting from government to do the 4th mainland bridge. It will, it will make people to heave a lot of sighs of relief.
Yeah.
So under Ambode, it was projected to be 841 billion naira to be constructed. Unfortunately, that project was, swept under the carpet. Subsequent governments are also having it in mind, but they have not been able to do it. It's a big and gigantic project for that. However, issue of population cannot be addressed in micro way, cannot be micro managed. it has to be a deliberate policy of the federal government. If the federal government has something in place that is working, it can also work in Lagos or any other state for that matter. But where federal government has no deliberate and working efficient policy about population, it cannot work. For instance, it still builds my imagination hollow that a place like Kano can be larger than Lagos in population. I stand to be corrected. I don't believe it, and I will never believe it. Fine and fine. Kano may have like 4 times 5 for Lagos land mass. You understand? But population per kilometer, 8,000 per kilometer. How do they do it in population? It's not so. You understand? 1,000 per kilometer, yes, that's what they do in population. So I don't think it can be like that in Lagos.
We can't be sure until the next
census
is conducted.
When they do it again, I don't know how they do it. You will still find out that these people are larger than us. It's unfortunate. And again, we don't have data record in Nigeria. For instance, you cannot know exactly how many women do we have, how many men do we have, how many disabled do we have, how many Muslim, how many Christian, how many farmer, how many educators, and all that, because we are not sincere. They believe that, this population is used to share amenities, and you begin to write names of sheep and goats. Because of that, we could not have accurate figure as our population figure. Until we're able to stamp this, and until people are also able to come out to be counted. You know, I am in Lagos. I will be counted in Lagos. You'll be surprised that they still put my name to be counted in my village in Ekiti. Do you understand? Only the name we want to beat them to it. This is what happens in some of these situations, and this will affect long and short-term planning. Do you understand? The number of people in Lagos, we are just so many. Lagos is only, government is only, the government of Lagos is like other states. Nobody will be able to live in Lagos for 1 hour.
Okay, let's talk about the recent crisis at the House of Assembly.
Yeah.
Even though we call Lagos, a state of stability, could we describe that event as, a crack in the so-called stability?
If you call it a crack, you'll be correct. If you call it a crack, also you may be wrong. Okay. In the sense that the crack that seemingly appeared disappeared miraculously in a magical way, in an unprecedented way.
Okay, can we begin to see a crack in the dominant party now in Lagos State?
No, it will be a bit difficult because they always know how to manage it. In fact, I for one never believed that Obasa could come back. I believe that's what makes Lagos to still be special. It has not happened anywhere also, where a speaker will be impeached for that number of months and he will still come back as speaker again. But the impeachment
was, the removal or impeachment, whichever one we choose to call it, has been described as illegal.
By the court, isn't it?
Yes.
Because Lagos is special. I will set an example. In Edo State under Obaseki became a governor. He ensured, immediately he looked at the number of the House of Assembly members, is a 25-member house. He immediately looked at the number of the people. He found out that about 16 would be loyal to the outgone governor. What he ensured was that they swore in 9 people, which makes up 1/3 of the members of the House. Because the Constitution says the House shall be constituted, the quorum of the House shall be constituted by 1/3. Do you understand? He just picked 9 that will be loyal to him. And lo and behold, for 4 years, the remaining 16 members were never sworn in for 1 day, let alone collect salary. So he ruled with 9 members. Unfortunately, we have a president who was never concerned. Even if his house is burning, he never cared, because that remained the position. Now, they went to court. There are about 4 or 5 suits filed. Do you know what happened? None of those cases ever came out to be heard. Because, any governor that wants power at all costs, we have control of the court one way or the other. They know how to do it. They will frustrate the whole thing. The case was never heard. If Lagos were to be like Edo State or other states, that case you talk about will never be heard. You come there, they know how to frustrate the judges. They will know how to frustrate the course of justice and all that. It will never be heard. You understand? Other Obasanjo, at a point, when Amechi went to court, there's a point they even wanted to give public holiday so that the court will not sit. So there are a lot of ways they can frustrate the judiciary too. Even the judges are willing to work. Out of the three arms of government, judiciary is still better than the rest of them. You understand? However, if
Why do
the
you say
government
so?
wants
Because
to...
you're a lawyer.
I also say it everywhere. You see the problem of Nigeria that we have today. Lawyers cost more than 70% of it. If we stand well today, the judges will sit well, and Nigeria problem will vanish in a matter of months. Within a year, I can tell you, majority of the problem in Nigeria today caused by lawyers. Some of us are not sincere. You see a bad case, somebody advise him to plead guilty. Why must you go and defend somebody who has embezzled 10 billion, 20 billion, 50 billion naira? And you know it's not good. And you start filing objections. And you know that this man must have committed this because he will have confessed to you. Why must you go and defend such? People like Ganifa, they don't defend corruption cases. Mr. Falana does not defend corruption cases. These are the way it should go. But when you keep on, somebody has stolen out of 20 thieves in Nigeria, or armed robber, or whoever Nigeria corrupt people. AFCC, ICP have arrested 12. Lawyers have successfully defended it and make them to go unscattered. So what do you expect? Will you blame the government? So that is the thing. So when you see it this way, it's only in Lagos that that kind of thing can happen. The matter is filed, they remove his speaker, he went to court, sued the governor, sued the APC, and the case was heard and determined in his favor. It is not very common.
Lagos is
It's
peculiar.
special.
Okay, I'm still talking about governance and Lagos peculiarity. Well, let's look at the issue of the local government primaries. You know, we need to talk about grassroots development. Yeah, the last elections, you know, we've never had, you know, this type of outcry or outcome before, you know, and this also boils down to, you know, governance, and people begin to rebel against, you know, the dominance in Lagos.
You see, a man cannot fight, you know, you cannot teach your grandmother how to suck egg. Now, some of these people that are complaining.
How can we teach my grandmother?
You cannot.
She's too old to.
Do you understand? You will not be, he has experienced more than you. You see, during their time, they may be using oil. You are using air fryer or whatever or groundnut oil, which is alien to them. Now, what am I trying to say? They are seasoned politicians in Lagos. They know how there is a way they do their thing. You being a candidate or being the candidate does not mean that you are the best. But because the powers that be wanted you. So if at the time again they said they don't want you again, what can you do? Because you yourself are not giving room to transparency in the past.
But they claim they want to go for election. At the end of the day, we find out that they have just been selected.
You know, that's what has been happening everywhere. You know, the democracy we claim to be running now is not democracy but civil rule. If you talk of democracy, we are not near it at all. Because the tenets of democracy are minus, you know, in our day-to-day activities, in the political terrain, in the social terrain, in the day-to-day life activities that we do. Let me tell you, okay, even when you do talk of presidential election, you talk about governorships election or, you know, primaries and all that, you see a lot of things happen. These people will only cry foul when the game is not favoring them again. Do you understand? The game that they play that brought them to power is the same game they play that is taking them out of power. So why are they complaining? I am not saying what they have done in Lagos is the best. It is not democratic. It's not good. But in the past, some of those people that have been favored by the political calculation, why did they not complain when it favored them most? And they picked them against all odds, against those who are qualified, against those who have won. As a lawyer, as a political lawyer myself, I've done more of political cases, election-related cases and all that. We have seen a lot. I have seen a situation where, in Lagos, you know, in the last dispensation, a situation whereby somebody scored like 4,000 out of 5,000 or something votes to defeat an incumbent House of Assembly member in a primary election. I flew from Lagos to Abuja. I filed the case. You have to file within 14 days. I filed on the 30th. On that 14th day, because before I could prepare, when we filed, I told him, after a while now, you say you want to withdraw your guy. I said, I will fight it to the end. I filed the case. The day the matter was to come up, I didn't hear from him. I had to rush, use my money to fly to Abuja, enter court. By the time I got there, we took an adjournment. My sister, I couldn't even recover that my air flight ticket. You understand? Because they have settled him. He said, "Oh God, don't want to go on again." They have begged me. So what do I do? So this is what will happen. If you have won, you are not ready to fight your cause. You know that 2 + 2 is 4. You will win this one because there is result. In some situations, they don't even allow the election to take place. They just write the figure. They just write the name of somebody. In fact, in some places, it's not only in Lagos, but Lagos is a bit, special. But in some places, they do it with a lot of, I don't care attitude. Somewhere in my state, in Ekide, you will see sometimes, I know of a governor, one of the past governors there. On the day of the primary, he will just come by himself. He conducts it in every local government. He will come, today is your own, tomorrow is this local government. He will come and write yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. It took a while before people knew what he used to do. If it's 14 councillors for this local government now, and there are 20 people, okay, for chairman, 7 people are contesting. He will write yes, no, yes, no. 1 yes, only 1 yes. He will put it. Do you know what this man will do? He will not even put yes there. He will put no in all. He will be asking you, yeah, you pick. You will pick no. You pick no. All of you will be picking one. You say, this is the person. So the last person will be the one to pick the yes. So at the end of the day, this is the candidate. I have seen a situation that a tailor followed, a guy wanted to contest and took his godfather and said, Baba, come and help me to tell the government I'm a popular person. They allow me, they love me by my man. When they got there, the guy talked and talked and talked. The political godfather too, a 72-year-old man. He's a man that they love this guy. He's a good guy. He talked and talked. He said, Baba, okay, I've listened to all you have said. Oh. Baba, can't you be a chairman? My sister, that day, he endorsed that 72-year-old tailor to be the chairman of the local government against the guy, and this somebody who was coming to defend his godson. So the man was not prepared. That kind of person became a chairman. So that is what, in Lagos State, they have a way of doing it, and I think Lagos State should redefine, they're in a position to redefine the political history of Nigeria. So, if they do the right thing, other states will follow. Because this is endorsement. I can tell you, there is no primary at all. I think this time is worse, not because they have not done like this in the past. Do you understand? I will not talk because there was a time my mechanic told me that our guy was going there yesterday. I voted. They gave me 1,000. Me and my friend during the primary of one of the past governors. I will not mention now. I said, you were an Igbo man from Anambra. When did you become APC member in Lagos? Yeah, I was just passing to say, you come and vote. The votes in the primary election of that time is about 950,000 for primary. The total votes during the general election was not up to that. Everything was 600,000. Both PDP and APC put together. But this is a primary election within the members of the political parties in Lagos. Somebody got 50,000 votes. So this is one of the problems. So I think when they do it properly, people will learn. Other states will come here to come and learn as well. But when the role model, the prime example, is following the wrong path, what do we expect of others? So this is the problem. We should do primary. When we engender internal democracy, we'll be able to fight for the generality of the people that will want democracy in Nigeria. But as it is today, there is no democracy. It's just selection every time. But why it is worse this time is, things are becoming more difficult to feed, to do everything. Now, the stake in political office is becoming higher. So people see it as the easiest way to make money.
Not about competence.
Yes, people now, not about competence. No. So people are just jostling for this post. If they make political office to be part-time, especially the lawmaking, like House of Assembly, House of Rep,
to
Senate,
be part-time.
To be part-time. People have been advocating, and I have been advocating too. You will see that there won't be issues. Obasanjo had the power, Obasanjo had the rare opportunity to redesign our political history, but he did not. He brought in money politics. If he's saying it's a lie, under his watch, Honorable Umar Gali Umar Nahaba, the former House of Rep Speaker from Kano, is late now, may God rest his soul. Amen. He brought Ghana must go, full of money. plenty of them to the floor of the house. The members came out and said, this is the money Obasanjo gave us to impeach the speaker. So he was a military man coming from military background who was used to giving orders. Go and do this, obey the law, you can't question it. But now found himself as a, civilian president who must get sanction and approval from the House of National Assembly. What can I do? Okay, you take 10 naira. I want a budget of 20 billion. You just go round and round. I have seen a senator who told me, the late senator is late now, said, at a point I thought Spirit was bringing the money. I'm telling you. So under Obasanjo, constituency allowance was paid periodically, and what do I call it, quarterly. So 33 months. Now, for 3 months, for senator is 60 million. For House of Rep is 45 million, which translates to 15 million naira per month and 20 million per month for rep and senators, respectively. Now, in a year, do you understand? Apart from their salary, now the constituency allowance now is more than 10 of that. You see, these senators will now come and say, oh, they buy machine, buy dryer, buy Okada for people and share it and say this is the constituency project. Is that what we want? Am I a member of that family that you give Okada? No, you give Okada to them today and make law tomorrow that they should not ride Okada again. This is unfortunate. At the end of the day, we need good road, we need good school, we need market. These are what we need that can impact on our lives. Not this thing you share. When you look at those things they share that people are shouting, calculating what they collect as constituency allowance is not more than 10%. And at the time, some of them will even partner with some big companies who will give some of these products free. But you will not know.
No.
It happens. I'm talking what I know. Anybody who is challenging issue can will give him facts and figures. So these are the things we are still praying for democracy to come in our land. And Lagos is in a position to help us, fashion our democracy in such a way that we can see the similitude of modern day democracy. But as it is today, no, democracy is not yet here. But thank God, and thank God very well that the martial boys they are never going to come back.
Someone is asking you a very interesting question here. They're saying, if Lagos politics is stable, is it also inclusive?
Well, it is inclusive. It is very inclusive. At least you can mention 2 or 3 Igbos who are members of the cabinet. Let somebody mention elsewhere where they do it. I've seen Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, for Finance, Akabuezi, who was a...
Commissioner for Finance.
Yes. It's in Lagos. Nobody will give you commissioner for sweeping in any other states in Nigeria. If you are not from that place, it's only in Lagos it can happen. There's Joe Igbokwe. Is also very well involved as far as as far as the politics of Lagos is concerned. Joe Igbokwe is not a small fry. Do you understand? They gave him the platform, they gave him the opportunity. Under about a few years ago, 6 honorable members of House of Reps are Igbos, and they are from Lagos. It cannot happen in their place. It can never happen that you go to Anambra and say you are Yoruba man, you want to contest, or you go to Ekiti State, you say you are an Igbo man, you want to contest. It will not happen. It will not. It's only in Lagos, so at least it's inclusive. A place where you can recognize other tribes to be here. They have advisor on Igbo, this thing, they have on Hausa, they have everything. Go to Aspanda, it's occupied by Igbos, this trade fair. At least 80 or 70% of them are Igbos. Go to the other aspect of it, occupied by, they call it Alabarago, by Hausa people. Do you understand? They are Hausas, you know them. They are functioning well without any intimidation, without any harassment and all that. Lagos is really doing well.
Okay, just before we go, in a sentence, what's your vision for the next phase of Lagos political evolution? Do you ever foresee the opposition parties thriving in Lagos?
Well, you see, opposition party nearly got it the last time. They did well. People will say, oh, election of 2023 is the worst election in the history of Nigeria. Is this, is that? But if you ask me, it's one of the best. You may not like it, but it is the truth. Anything might have happened. There is no election that is free. It can be fair. Even in America, election is not free. You know, I mean, it can only be fair. It's not free of any glitches. Nobody, not anywhere. Now, in Lagos, during the last election, If APC can lose Lagos, If they lose Lagos, it means there was no mago that much the way they are shouting. It means if you say there is rigging, it means all other APC rigged, Labour Party rigged, and PDP also rigged. Even in the judgment of the Court of Appeal said that they said APC candidate was the anointed candidate. Unfortunately, he still lost in Lagos. And that INEC must have been a bad what do they call it? You say they
umpire.
You say they are the one that anointed the Lagos State APC. They endorsed them. They said they are bad anointed people. You know, if they have done it well, why will their candidate lose their state? Do you understand? So look at it from this angle. I think they should do it well so that other states can be better. If Lagos is not good, honestly, Nigeria cannot be good. Oh. That is the truth of the matter.
Okay, you've heard it all from our guest, Kabir Akigbolu. He's a lawyer and political analyst, and he's been talking about the peculiarities of Lagos politics. Lagos remains unique in governance, in leadership, in everything. We'll go on a short break now. When we come back, the conversation continues. Thank you very much for joining us.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State Government. They remain the perspectives of those expressing them. Thank you for staying with Lagos Television.